Hey guys, welcome to a new video of Cryptophonics. Today we will be talking about a strategy for identifying profitable trades. This right in front of us is the daily chart of Bitcoin. The very first thing we'll be doing will be inserting the indicators. We'll be inserting exponential moving average twice. For the first one, we will be changing the settings. The length will be selected as 20. For the next one, we will be selecting the length as 50. Also, we will be changing the color so that we are able to identify which one is the 50 EMA and which one is the 20 EMA. Okay, so now we have inserted the indicators and adjusted the settings. Now what we need to do is finding out the trades, we need to find out the crossovers between the 50 EMA and 20 EMA. If we look over here, a crossover is being formed where the 50 EMA moved above the 20 EMA. Now this is a signal to short. Whereas if we look over this point, the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA. This being a signal to buy. If we focus here, the 50 EMA breaching the 20 EMA moving above it gave us a signal to sell. The result was a down move. This point over here, a buying crossover is formed where the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA. As a result of this buying crossover, a big up move was seen. But if we move a little back and if we look over here, what we see is at this point over here, a bearish crossover was formed where the 50 EMA moved above the 20 EMA. But the movement was not that sharp or not that big. So how do we identify profitable trades using this setup? To filter out the trades and identify more profitable ones, increasing the accuracy of the strategy depends upon the third indicator which we'll be using. We will be inserting a third indicator here. It will be VWAP. So volume weighted average price. VWAP will be inserted by us. Also, what we need to do is for proper visibility, we will be changing the color. Select a color of your preference. Okay. So now what we need to do is if we look over here at the bearish crossover, we can see that when this bearish crossover is being formed, the price is below the VWAP. The price at which the bearish crossover is being formed, it is below the VWAP. Okay, as a result of this being below the VWAP, a down move was observed. If we look over here at this point, when a bullish crossover is being formed, the price is above the VWAP. As a result of both these indications, what we observe, a good up move, and at this point a good down move. But if you look over here at this crossover, a bearish crossover is being formed, a signal to short is being generated, but at the exact point of crossover, the VWAP is trading below the price. That is, the price is above the VWAP. This is the point where we'll not be initiating a trade. So, what are the conditions that needs to be fulfilled? If a bullish crossover is being formed, the VWAP should be below the price, and if a bearish crossover is being formed, the price should be below the VWAP. Okay, we will be further backtesting this strategy to find out if this works. Okay, look over here, this point. At this point, the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA. A buying crossover, a bullish crossover is being formed. And what is the price? The price is about 42,000 in the 42,000 levels. Also, the price is above the VWAP. What's the result of the bullish crossover and price being above the VWAP? The result is an up move. Okay, and so that's the part where we'll be identifying the trades. What will be the stop loss for us? How will we decide what the stop loss is going to be? For that, we need to focus on the crossover part. Let me remove this line. Okay, so if we look over here, what we see is that as the crossover formed, slight down move was seen. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we will be focusing on this 20 EMA line. If a closing below the 20 EMA is seen, we will exit from the trade. Okay, if we look over here, the candles have taken support around the 20 EMA line and have not given a close below the line. Okay, if this point over here we see right over here, what we see is a closing below the 20 EMA. This is the point where we'll be exiting from our trade. Okay, now if we look over here, the crossover formed, this being a bearish crossover, as the 50 EMA crossed the 20 EMA and moved above it. Also, if we focus around the point, what we see is VWAP is trading above the price. Okay, this being a signal to sell, what was observed was a down move. Also, what will be the exit point for us? If we look over this candle closed above the 20 EMA. So from this point to this point over here, this was the down move trajectory that we had tracked in our signal. Okay, this one is a slightly big move. Okay, this point over here, buying crossover, a bullish crossover is being formed, and also the price is above the VWAP. The price is trading above the VWAP. 20 EMA crossed the 50 EMA, started moving above it. This being a bullish crossover resulted in a very good up move, and also we can see that all the candles have closed above the 20 EMA. Okay, now this point over here, a breach was observed. 20 EMA was breached by the candle. So this is the point of our exit. A very good up move was seen from this point. Okay, now let's look over here. A selling signal, a short signal is being produced, but the price that the VWAP is indicating, it is above, sorry, the VWAP is above the price. No, sorry, the VWAP is below the price. What does this mean? This means that we will not be shorting the stock here or the Bitcoin. Okay, this point over here, a buying crossover, a bullish crossover is being formed where the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA and the price of Bitcoin is above the VWAP level. This being a buy signal, what we see is an up move. Also, this point over here, the Bitcoin gave a close below the VWAP levels. Therefore, this is an exit point for us. So the up move was from 9,300 levels to somewhat around 11,700 levels. Okay, so this is the part where we'll be able to track the swing trading strategy. The swing trading part will be covered through this. If we change the time frame to 15 minutes, sorry, if we change the chart to 15 minutes, this can be used for the this can be used for day trading as well. The same thing will be kept in mind. For the day trading part, I'll be making another video. Now what we need to do is, yeah, so we'll be finding it out on some other chart. Let's move to Ethereum. Okay, so this point over here, a short crossover, a bearish crossover is being formed. Also, the price at the crossover level is below the VWAP, generating a signal to sell. Result was a down move. Also, this point where the 20 EMA was breached by the Ethereum is the point where we will be booking our profits. This point over here, crossover was formed where the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA, where a bullish crossover was formed, and the price was above the VWAP level. This being a bullish crossover and a signal to buy gave us a very good up move where the exit point was around here, this point. Now we can see right at this point over here, a bearish crossover, sorry, yeah, this one being a bearish crossover, the 50 EMA moved above the 20 EMA. But at the point of crossover, what we see is the green candle is closing above the VWAP level. Therefore, we will not be initiating a trade here because both the indications are contradicting each other. The crossover is giving us a signal to sell, whereas the VWAP is indicating a signal which is telling us to buy. Therefore, no trade. Okay, so this point over here, a crossover is being formed where the price of Ethereum is above the VWAP level. Now, as both are supporting each other, the both indications are supporting each other, therefore, we will execute the trade. And after the execution, what would have happened is profit booking around these levels. As at this candle, the closing was below the 20 EMA. Okay, this point over here, a bearish crossover is being formed by the EMA, where the 50 EMA moved above the 20 EMA. Also, at the point of crossover, the VWAP is above the price. Now, as both the indications are complementing each other, what we observe is a downfall. Uh, a very good signal being generated right over here. This point. Need to zoom it. Yeah. So this point over here, what we see is a this point over here, what we see is a bullish crossover where the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA and the price is trading above the VWAP. So this gave us a very good up move. Okay, right over here. This point, the crossover is being formed where the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA and the price was above the VWAP level. What was the result? The result was an up move. Now, if you look over here, the crossover where the 50 EMA moved above the 20 EMA, this being a bearish crossover, giving us a signal to sell. But if we observe the VWAP is trading below the price, giving us a signal to buy. Now, as both the indications are contradicting in nature, therefore, we will not be initiating any kind of trade here. So this is how it works on Ethereum. Now we will check it. Now we will check it on a stock. Let's check it on Amazon. Amazon over here gave us a signal to sell by the EMA crossover, and also the price is trading below the VWAP levels. Over this point here, the price is trading below the VWAP level. The crossover formed here, price trading below the VWAP levels. Both the indicators are giving us a signal to sell. What we will do is we will sell. And what would have been the result? The result was a very good down move and good profit booking around these levels, or if someone would have wanted, could book the profit here too. Okay, this point over here, a buy crossover, bullish crossover is being formed where the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA and the price is trading above the VWAP. Okay, now this point over here, a crossover where the 50 EMA breached the 20 EMA, moved above it, and the price of Amazon is trading below the VWAP. Both the indicators giving us a signal to sell. What it produced was a good down move. And if you look over this candle here, this candle breached the VWAP level, and this would have been our exit point. Okay, this point over here, a crossover of EMA, which is bearish in nature, and the price trading below the VWAP. Both the indicators giving us a signal to sell resulted in a good downfall. If we look over here, this crossover where the 20 EMA moved above the 50 EMA and the price is trading above the VWAP. Both the indicators giving us a signal to sell, and as both are complementing each other, the result was a very good up move. So many examples can be traced if we move backwards, but what's important is to identify the chart patterns and signals in the coming future so that we can use it to our benefit and earn money in the market. Now, this can be used for currency, forex trades as well. What you need to do is you just need to keep the basics in mind. Initiate a trade only when the conditions are fulfilled. Do not jump into a trade. Jumping into a trade without the confirmations being generated by both the indicators will result in loss. That's not advisable from my side. So that's it for this video. For more such content, stay tuned with us. Thank you.